Happy Monday, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining into my channel. That's it. I hope everyone had a wonderful, blessed weekend. So, I just want to briefly tell you what this YouTube channel is all about. It's about reporting the news because we can't rely on the news that's giving us because, I'm not going to say it's fake news, but it's not reliable news, if you get what I'm saying. And they don't report the truth, to be honest with you. They report half truth. And with, a lot of podcasters and, reporters and journalists and independents, we're reporting the news, the real news, the truth news, if that makes sense. And we can't rely what the news is telling us because they only tell us half the truth. They're not capable of telling the whole truth. Even though I'm not a journalist and I just do video content and I'm not a podcaster yet. Hopefully one day I will be. It's in God's hands. But I report the news to you guys, the truth and nothing but the truth. Because this video is all about, every video that I do is all about transparency, about honesty and realness and fact checking everything. Because I don't want to report anything that's not true or anything is wrong. And if I do get it wrong, I will always admit to you guys, I got it wrong, I made a mistake, and that's it. But I have to go with my sources and make sure, and I fact check my sources too to make sure I get the right information when I report to you guys. Also, this video content and every video content that I do is about pop culture. It's about love, relationships, finance, life in general. We all go through ups and downs, highs and lows in our life. And that's what this videos, majority of my videos is about, is just to talk about things, tough things that people don't feel comfortable talking about. So that's what my YouTube channel is all about. So with that being said, you guys, let's just get right to it because I don't want to waste your time and bore you guys. We're going to talk about Kevin Federline. Now, anyone who don't know who Kevin Federline is, he is the ex-husband of Britney Spears, and they were married long time ago. 3 years. They were married for 3 years. Have two children together, two boys, Preston and Jaden's James Federline, and now Kevin Federline is resurfacing to the world because we haven't heard from him from decades. You know what I mean? A very long time. But now he is resurfacing and doing interviews because he just wrote a memoir, a book about his life and about his ex-wife. And the book is called You Thought You Knew. You Thought You Knew. So he came out from the woodwork and wrote a book about Britney Spears. And everyone knows who Britney Spears is. She's the biggest pop star in the world. I used to listen to Britney Spears, loved her music. She was bigger than life, you guys. She started at the age of 16, such a young age. She was just a great performer, dancer, singer, you name it. She did it all at such a young age. But with that young age comes with a lot of responsibility, a lot of money, a lot of fame and fortune and up and down. I grew up watching Britney from the beginning. When she first came out, Hit Me Baby One More Time. Great song. Among other things, Stronger. Don't judge me for my singing because I am horrible at singing. I'm good at singing when I'm in the shower or I'm in my car. And among other things that her music was great. But now her ex-husband, Kevin Federline, is resurfacing, like I said. He wrote a book, You Thought You Knew. And the question that I'm asking, okay, and I wrote some notes down, okay, because I have questions. When I have questions, I write a lot of questions down so I can remember everything and so I can ask you guys as well. So my question is, why is he writing this book? I watched an interview with him that he appeared on Piers Morgan, and it was a 30-minute interview, and I listened to what he had to say, and shout outs to Piers Morgan, love him. Hopefully one day, by the grace of God, I will go to London and be on his show. I'm manifesting it one day. You never know. I know I'm not important right now, and I'm just kind of like nobody, but hopefully one day, I could put that in my bucket list. To meet Piers Morgan one day, and also Candace Owens. I would love to meet her as well. Anyway, back to this. So I was listening, watching the interview, and he said that the reason he's doing this, the reason he wrote this memoir book, because he needs to save Britney, because Britney is spiraling out of control, and he is fearful for her life, fearful, and he's doing this for his sons, because his sons haven't seen their mother for a very long time. Every now and then, one of the son just visit one time for 45 minutes for the last 5 years. The other one maybe a few times, and he's very worried about his ex-wife. For the sake of their two boys. My thing is, and this is my opinion, why write a book? Why do even a book? The book is not going to solve or fix anything. I just feel like it's just going to make it worse. Your ex-wife is has mental issues, and she's been through a lot. With the whole conservatorship and getting breaking away from that. Thank God. And now she's just trying to be her best version, her best life, because she's been through so much, especially what her father had done to her for the last 15 years when she was under the conservatorship under by her father. She couldn't speak for 15 years. She couldn't do anything. Her father controlled her basically. All she did was just work and went on tours and stuff like that. And her father profited off of it, basically profit off of her daughter. Basically, her daughter was a slave. And I hate to say that, but Britney Spears was, because the father was taking so much advantage of his own daughter, plus giving her drugs. I don't know the name of it. I know Candace Owens touched base on it. Lithium. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly or if that's the right drug. And according to Candace Owens, what she said in her previous video show, that it can really mess up with your brain. It can really fry your brain up, especially the amount that you take over and over again. You can be a zombie and whatnot. So just imagine for the last 15 years that her father supplied that to her, and her brain is just like mush now, kind of. You know what I mean? So what do you expect if she gets out of hand or she's not herself? What the amount of drugs that she's been taking that have been force feed to her for the last 15 years, what do you expect? And now she just wants to be left alone and have a relationship with her sons and just be peaceful and just be her best version. Mental illness is not a joke. It's a serious thing. In my opinion, by writing a book about it and airing out your ex-wife's dirty secret is ridiculous. It's absurd. And it's just, you're not going to help her. You're going to even hurt her even more, in my opinion. And I know that he touched base on Piers Morgan's show. We tried everything. We tried this, we tried that. Okay, try harder. Try harder. Don't give up. But writing a book, you think that's going to solve the issue, the problem that she's having, the issue that your sons is telling you what they've been seeing when they go and visit their mother? Writing a book is not the answer. And to be honest with you guys, the reason why Kevin Federline is surfacing right now, because the child support has stopped. It stopped since last year. Think about it. He was getting child support for a very long time, and now the child support has stopped because the two boys has reached the age 19 and 18. There's no more child support, so Britney Spears is not giving out money anymore. So what Kevin doing? He's writing a book so he can profit off of that book, so he can make money for himself. And I think it's this whole total BS that he's doing it to save Britney. To me, that's just bullshit. Bullshit, in my opinion. Totally bullshit. He's trying to profit, making money out of his own ex-wife. And he's been doing this probably for decades, okay? Now, with that being said, been a good father. He's been present in his children's life. He has 6 children. I give him kudos for that. But the thing is, the reason why I'm saying he's just only profiting for himself, it's not really about Britney Spears. He could have easily said, with this book that's out, every proceeds and the advance is going to go towards mental illness for charity. He could have said that, but he didn't. He didn't say none of that. And I watched every interview that he did, from E! News to CBS, to 60 Minutes, which I'm going to share with you guys. Every interview, he never indicate all the proceeds, the advance, money is going to go to mental illness charity. None of that. So to me, it makes me to believe he's just doing that because the child support money has stopped and he needs to make us some type of money. Isn't he married and live in Hawaii? Doesn't his wife make have a job? He should get a job. Get a job. Why you keep using your ex-wife's name to make yourself relevant? That's what I want to know. And why you airing out her dirty laundry? Or she did cocaine while she was breastfeeding the boys. Why say all that? Okay. Oh, she had sex with another woman. And is that really relevant? How's that helping her? You airing out your ex-wife dirty little secret. How's that helping Britney? Tell me. Tell me. I would like to know. Right, Apollo? How's that helping her? Tell me. It's not. It's not helping her. I feel like if you're trying to help a family member because they're going through something or they're spiraling out of control, intervention. That don't work. Keep trying. Keep trying. Have other people try. And I know he said multiple times in Piers Morgan show that they tried. They tried everything. You think that writing a book is the answer? You think that writing a book and telling your ex-wife all her little dirty secret that she's gonna snap out of it and realize, oh my gosh, my ex-husband is telling, airing out my dirty secret, so I'm gonna ship up, or whatever. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna just make myself brand new. I'm gonna change my ways. I'm just gonna do what I can because he's gonna get serious. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, that's first of all. That's just my question. That don't make any sense. Britney Spears filed divorce in 2016 with Kevin Federline, and they've been divorced for 18 years now. Okay, and Sean Preston is 19, and Jaden James is 18. Like I said, what else? So he said during his interview with Piers Morgan that he fears for Britney Spears' life. He said time is running out. So Piers Morgan asked a tough question. What do you mean time is running out? What are you implying? Are you implying that she's on some type of substance, some type of drug? Is she taking cocaine and stuff like that? He said yes, because according to their son, the son saw some stuff that he didn't feel comfortable in, if you get what I'm saying. The son did not feel comfortable witnessing what he witnessed, and he told the father, and that's why he's writing this whole book. And I have to say, I did not purchase the book. I think it's just a waste of time. It's not making any money, according to Piers Morgan, that it's not making any money. It's been 20 years since Kevin Federline had been silenced, and now he's saying he wants to speak his truth. And the reason why he's speaking his truth now, because the boys are grown. He didn't want to do it when they were younger and stuff like that. And I'm like, listen, I just want to say this, okay, before I share the video. What happened in family should stay in the family, okay? It should not be aired out. You know what I mean? Like, things happen in my family, I don't air it out. I don't tell anyone because it should be in closed doors. I don't think the whole world should know about every little thing that you have done. And that's what Kevin is doing. You know what I mean? Even though you claim that you tried multiple times and the other family tried multiple times, you still keep trying. You don't give up. You know what I mean? You obviously you give them a little bit of space, but you still reach out. You still contact your ex-wife or have someone contact your ex-wife to make sure that she's okay. But writing this book and letting people read, you think that's going to help her? It's not. And then the thing is with Britney Spears, she's been through a lot. She can't trust her family members. They put her in a conservatorship. Now I get it. She hit rock bottom. You know what I mean? And we all have seen when she hit rock bottom and she shaved her head and she just lost her mind. Basically, it was just too much for her. You know what I mean? With the tabloids, with the media, all these people, taking paparazzis. At the time, taking pictures and following her wherever she went. She was a hot commodity back in the day. You know what I mean? When she got married to Kevin Federline, she proposed to him when she had her first son. She was everywhere in the magazines, everywhere. And all she wanted was just a breather, but the paparazzis could not do that. So she snapped. She snapped and she lost her mind, okay? And I get it. She needed help. She needed treatment because she was just spiraling out of control, and the people that around her at the time was taking advantage of her. That I can say. People were taking advantage of her because she had money, she was under their influence. So they were, and the people that was close to Britney was very, very concerned. I get that. You want to, at the time they wanted to protect her and protect her money. I get that. But to have a conservatorship and control every move that she made, that's just ridiculous. Especially if she was getting the help that she needed, getting therapy, stop taking drugs and everything. And if you look and see that she was doing well, then she shouldn't be in a conservatorship for that long period of time. 15 years was a long time. So I don't blame Britney for not trying to reach out to her father or any of her family members, because the most people that the most people that you love can be your family members that can betray you. And she felt betrayed at the time. She probably still do, and I don't want to put words in her mouth, but she felt betrayed because she felt that she couldn't speak out. She felt like she was trapped. She couldn't go or do anything except for touring and making money. So she can make money for her father, so her father can profit out of it, so he can get money in his pocket. He basically abused and used his own daughter mentally. Okay, and that's a shame. That's a shame. He could have just had that conservatorship for a couple of years, and once he realized that his daughter is back on track and she's back to the way she was, then he should have cut that conservatorship right away. But no, he took advantage. That's why her fans protest against it, because they knew what they were doing to Britney was wrong and abuse in my mind. And the judge realized that, and the conservatorship is over, thank God. And now, for the last 5 years, Britney is trying to live her life. You know what I mean? She's no longer going to do touring or music. Who can blame her? Because what her father put her through, I don't think I want to tour either. I don't think I want to do that either. And all I'm saying is, if she's going through something, her son saw something that was inappropriate or that freaked them out, then seek help. Try intervention. Try whatever you can. I don't know. I don't know what you call it. Not the secret. What's the word? I'm trying to figure out. I don't know all the not the tricks, all the answers. Okay. All I know is you just have to take one day at a time. One day at a time, and not give up on your family member. If he claims that he cares about his ex-wife and he cares about their sons, then in my opinion, the book is not the answer. It's not. And it's not going to go anywhere, to be honest with you. And some people may buy it. I definitely not going to buy it. And it's just not going to go anywhere. But anyway, I know I keep rambling on, but take a listen to Kevin Federline in his interview, what he had to say about his ex-wife.
How we fell in love, got in fights.
She was the pop superstar who fell in love with a dancer. The marriage of Britney Spears and Kevin Federline lasted only 3 years, but it produced 2 children. Jaden and Preston are teenagers now, and there are moments of togetherness in Britney's relationship with them, as this picture from last spring shows. But according to the boys' father, those moments are rare.
The boys have decided that, they're not seeing her right now. It's been a few months since they've actually even seen her. They made the decision not to go to her wedding.
Kevin Federline says that the sons he had with Britney Spears during their brief marriage did used to spend time at their mother's house, but then they decided to stop visiting.
There's a lot of things that were going on that they just didn't feel comfortable with. They made sure that I knew what was going on. And at that point, that was, it was...
How did they make sure that you knew?
Well, they started sending me videos and certain things that they were like, look, I'm telling you that this is happening.
Britney Spears has posted on social media her response to what Mr. Federline has had to say. It saddens me, she says, to hear that my ex-husband has decided to discuss the relationship between me and my children. As we all know, raising teenage sons is never easy for anyone. I gave them everything, she says. Only one word. Hurtful. Britney's enormous success earlier in her career came at a terrible cost to her mental health, and her celebrity meant that her suffering was very often caught on camera.
I've been in the conservatorship for 13 years.
Only recently was she released from a legal arrangement known as a conservatorship, under which her father oversaw her personal affairs. For 13 years, Jamie Spears had control over his daughter's movements, her finances, and relationships. It gave rise to the Free Britney movement, a social media campaign which saw fans gather outside her many courtroom attempts to escape the arrangement. For her ex-husband, though, the conservatorship saved Britney's life.
Jamie Spears came to me and was like, pretty much, I don't know what to do. I want to help. You know, my daughter, I want to help. I mean, I saw a man that really cared and really cares about his family and wanting everything to be okay, you know.
So you feel Jamie might have saved his daughter?
100% I feel like he saved her back then.
Britney has described her father's relationship with her as abusive, and while she has said she has no plans to perform again, she continues to communicate with her legions of fans via her social media feed. And according to the father of her sons, they are posts which can cause problems for the boys.
I apologize for them, to them, for them, because I can't imagine how it feels to be a teenager, having to go to high school. Who knows how many people ask them about it or talk to them about it. And I try to explain to them, like, you know, look, it's maybe just another way that she tries to express herself, but it doesn't take away from the fact that what it does to them, you know, it's tough. If there was a way, any way that I could possibly say something to
that's a big surprise to a lot of people. Is that the reaction you're getting? That
just open the eye for her to see, like, I don't know what that is. I haven't found that yet.
Okay. I had enough of that. So I had to, I needed to correct myself. I said 15 years, 13 years of conservatorship. So pardon me for that misinformation. I wanted to correct myself. So yes, and I want to share with you another clip of a second interview that Kevin Federline actually did as well. This was on 60 Minutes, and take a listen to what he had to say for the, moving furthermore of this whole his ex-wife Britney Spears.
Get involved in all of the other stuff because it's just, I don't feel like it would be fair to Britney. I don't feel like it would have been fair to my sons. I have no part in any of that.
So you feel Jamie might have saved his daughter?
100% I feel like he saved her back then.
But as you'll see, that's certainly not what Britney thinks.
I honestly still to this day don't know what really I did, but the punishment of my father, I wasn't able to see anyone or like anything, and you have to imagine none of it made sense to me.
For 13 years, Britney Spears was not allowed to make any decisions for herself. But with the support of her fans, who organised a global campaign known as the Free Britney movement, she fought to overturn the conservatorship that had controlled her life. Last November, she won.
It's official. The conservatorship of Britney Spears has been terminated.
Despite her victory, though.
Pause. Now, I agree with Kevin Federline. Did her father, Jamie, did that to save his daughter's life? Yes, I 100% agree with that because, again, like I said, her life was spiraling out of control. She was just, if he didn't step in, then she would have ended up dead, God forbid. She would have ended up dead. I agree to a certain extent. Two things can be true at the same time. However, once she was clean and she was back to her old self and everything, he should have stopped the conservatorship. But why did he keep prolonging it for the last 13 years? Again, I feel like it was his power, control, especially with her money. She was worth billions. You know what I mean? At the time, I don't know if she still is worth billions because I don't check anybody's network except for my own, which I have definitely don't have billions, by the way. I'd be lucky if I have even $5. Okay, $5. I'd be lucky. But anyway, so I just feel like yes, her father did that for the right reasons to save her and to save her life. However, I just feel like he went really overboard. He went a little too extreme to control his own daughter and then the money and everything. And he really took advantage of that aspect. And I don't understand why the mother, Lynn, and her sister, Jamie, again, there's every side to every story. I'm not putting judgment on anyone, but I'm very surprised they didn't step in or say anything to the father. You know what I mean? Like, hey, what are you doing? But anyway, it's near or there, so.
It's clear the pop star hasn't forgiven her family. Last week, Britney released an audio recording that did not hold back.
My heart would just want to stand up in my family's faces and scream and cry and throw a tantrum and go back in time and do exactly what I wanted to do at those times. Yeah, and might even spit in their fucking faces. Why? Because the pain my family gave me, sitting me there all day and not being able to use my feet, as they watch their grandchildren run bases to base in a family neighborhood, as if I'm dead or I don't exist, honestly makes me look up and say, how the fuck did they get away with it?
Britney's former husband, Kevin Federline, says he understands Britney's anger, but he also wants her to know sons Sean Preston and Jaden were thrilled when their mother's conservatorship was overturned.
That's good.
Both of them were happy for her, because it's not always about what's right. It's about this is what mom wanted, mom got
40 years old and free at last. Britney had a lot of life to catch up on. Top of her to-do list was marrying longtime boyfriend Sam Asghari. 3 months ago, they celebrated at a celebrity-studded event. But the wedding revealed just how broken this family really is. None of Britney's closest relatives were there, not even her 2 sons. The youngest, 15-year-old Jaden, says the reason is simple.
I'm really happy for them, but she didn't invite her whole family, and then if it was just gonna be me and Preston, I just don't see how that situation would have ended on, good terms.
Okay. That's sad. You know what I mean? I didn't show up to their mom's wedding, but I get it too. You know what I mean? If Britney's not getting along with half of her family members, why would she have them there in her wedding? You know what I mean? Especially what she had to go through for the last 13 years. But I get what the son is saying too. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's just a bad circumstances overall. It really is. It's just a bad circumstance. And I just hope and pray that they can come some type of resolution, especially with Britney and her sons. I really want them to have that mother and son relationship because, life is so precious, it's so short. Obviously, those 2 boys, they're growing up. And, you're here today, you might be gone tomorrow. Tomorrow is never promised. And I hope that they can rebuild a relationship between the both of them and, reconnect and find their way back to each other. With that being said, you guys, in my opinion, I don't feel like the book is the way. In my opinion, I feel like, Kevin is trying to get money out of this because now, like I said, the child support money is stopped. So now he has to try to make some type of income now. And now how he's doing that, he's using his ex-wife's name, exploiting all her past secrets and stuff like that, which is really irrelevant. I just feel like you're not helping her. I feel like what if she goes to a deep hole or get more depressed because you're airing out everything in this book and you're publicizing it, and how that helping her? You may make it worse. You get what I'm saying? You might make the situation more worse. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like in my opinion, the book is helping. I feel like it may hurt her. Well, hopefully, Britney has a strong support system backing her up and supporting her and being there with her, because to me, it's not helping. And I just want to briefly read to you before I talk about the next topic about the statement that she posted on her Instagram page. The constant gaslighting from ex-husband is extremely hurtful and exhausting. I have always pleaded and screamed to have a life with my boys. Relationship with teenager boys is complex. I have felt demonized by this situation and have always asked and almost begged for them to be a part of my life. Sadly, they have always witnessed the lack of respect shown by own father for me. They need to take responsibility for themselves. With one son only seeing me for 45 minutes in the past 5 years and the other with only 4 visits in the past 5 years. I have pride too. From now on, I will let them know when I am available. Trust me. Those white lies in that book, they are going to straight to the bank, and I am the only one who generally gets hurt here. I will always love them, and if you really know me, you won't pay attention to those tabloids of my mental health and drinking. I am actually a pretty intelligent woman who has been trying to live a sacred and private life the past 5 years. I speak on this because I have had enough, and any real woman would do the same. That's sick. I don't blame her. I don't blame her. It's like she's saying enough is enough. Kevin, enough is enough. Stop spearing my name. Stop saying all this stuff, okay? Enough is enough, damn it. And she had enough. Let her live in peace. 5 years, okay? And like I said, there's another way to do all this. By doing your memoir book, that's not the way. It's not. I think family problems, family issues should be private. It should not be for the whole world, okay? It's bad enough that she started at 16, okay, with fame and fortune. You know what I mean? She started so young. And now all she wants is just privacy, okay? Give her that respect. And I just feel like her ex-husband's not giving that respect. I feel like for him, it's just a money grab. It's for him to be relevant so he can get some quick cash out of this book. And I'm telling you, this book is not going anywhere. It's not going to make any money. It's not going to be profitable. He's just wasting his time. Because again, the child support money has run out. It has ran its course. Now you just need to try to get a real job and make some income because you have 6 children to take care of. Well, 4 of them are grown. And you have 2 young ones. Okay? Stop talking about your ex-wife. Let her be. If you want to get help, do it privately and do it sincerely. Do it the right way. Have good people to support her and back her up. That's what you should do. Even though he said that he asked his son about it and his son is okay for him writing the book. Still, doesn't matter if your son is okay about it. You're the parent. You're the adult. You shouldn't even done this book in the first place. But again, you still want to be relevant after 20 years later. Boy, bye. Anyway, moving on. I can't. Moving on. Now, I want to talk about Virginia Giuffre and Prince Andrew. Now, as you know, this whole big scandal of Prince Andrew, this email got leaked out because according to the London News or whatever news, that when he did his interview on BBC News, and he spoke to a reporter saying that he had no contact, and I didn't even put the video up, which I'm going to do right now, you guys. I am so sorry. He had no contact with Jeffrey Epstein. Once Jeffrey Epstein was arrested in, I can't remember the year, forgive me, and once he was registered as a sex offender, and the reporter asked Prince Andrew, when Jeffrey Epstein was registered as a sex offender, did you have any contact with him afterwards? He said no. I knew he was lying because I watched the interview, the entirety. I knew he was lying. Just the way he speaks and the stutter and his face expression, everything. I knew he was a motherfucking liar. Okay? I just knew. He looked like a pedophile anyway. It's just disgusting. Okay? I'm sorry to say that, but disgusting. And the email had shown proof that he reached out to Jeffrey Epstein in 2011 And it said, I'm going to read to you what it said very quickly so I can find it for you guys. You say you don't sweat. Boy, bye. Everyone sweat. Unless you take some Botox and then you stop the sweating. Craziness that he said that in his interview. I'm trying to find it. Lord have mercy. Okay, it said the email was sent in February 2011. Prince Andrew said Prince Andrew said in his famous BBC News Night, that's what it was, excuse me for saying it wrong, interview that he hadn't seen or spoken to Epstein after going to his house in New York in December of 2010, which that's a lie because the email surfaced that he emailed Epstein, and then he said this email, which I'm trying to look for, and I can't find it. See, this is what I get for deleting stuff. I should just keep things until I'm finished with it before I delete it. And that's my problem, you guys. I like to delete things real quick, and that is my freaking problem. Now I learned not to do that anymore, and I'm just like devastated. But anyway, I can't remember what it says, but let me show you, let you listen to Prince Andrew, this first interview in BBC News Night, that he said he never, ever seen Virginia Giuffre. He never was never near her. None of that stuff. But then he asked one of the police officer, what is it? Yeah, the police officer protection to dig up things about her. Now, why would you have a police officer protection to dig up confidential information about Virginia? Now, a lot of people are saying, well, she accused him of having sex with her, and he probably wanted to dig up who she is because he told the reporter on that interview that he never met her before. So he was just trying to dig up information. Or is it possible? That he was trying to dig up information, confidential information, so he can use it against her? So he can tell people, oh, she's lying, she's trouble. She's been trouble since she was a teenager, whatever, because Virginia Giuffre had a really rough life, okay, early on. She really did. She got molested by one of her family members. She was homeless at one point. She really, really had a bad upbringing, okay? Life was not good for her in the beginning, and then she turned her life around and started working, met her husband, had children, whatever. So that's what I believe. I don't believe the other story. He knew her. He had sex with her. And Virginia Giuffre has said it 3 times, okay? They went to a club in London. There's a photograph of her and him and Ghislaine Maxwell. He's saying that it's fake, and it has proven that that photograph is authentic. It's the real thing, okay? He knows. He's just lying. Now, I just want you to share this video with you because that's one thing I can't stand, someone acting lying. He lied. And the proof isn't important because the email came out that he lied, that he never had any contact with Epstein. Well, that's a lie. That's a lie. So I'm going to share this video with you really quick. So forgive me, you guys. I'm going to get it right away, so you guys can see it for yourself. So you know I'm not making it up. So just bear with me 1 minute. Let's go, computer. There we go. That's it. I'm not dealing with this.
I have no recollection of ever meeting this lady. None whatsoever.
You don't remember meeting her?
No.
So you're absolutely sure that you're at home on the 10th of March?
Yes.
She was very specific about that night. She described dancing with you,
No.
and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have bath, possibly.
There's a slight problem with the
Look at his face.
sweating.
Look at his face. You know he's bullshitting. You know he's lying. Lying. You just knew. Continue.
Because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time.
She provided a photo of the
Yes.
two of you together.
Yes.
Your arm was around her waist.
Yes.
You've seen the photo.
I've seen the photograph.
How do you explain that?
Oh, yeah, how do you explain that, buddy?
Because I have absolutely no memory of
Sure.
that photograph ever being taken.
Do you recognise yourself in the photo?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult not to recognise yourself.
Yeah, pretty difficult.
Your friend suggested that the photo is fake.
I think it's from the investigations that we've done, you can't prove whether or not that photograph is faked or not, because it is a photograph of a photograph of a photograph.
You know he's lying. It has proven that photograph of Virginia Giuffre and Prince Andrew, along with Ghislaine Maxwell, is the real thing. He knows it. He knows it, and he's lying. Real thing. And he was just squirming out of his mind, his teeth, just lying, saying that it's not. He didn't recognize her. He didn't know her. When that was all bullshit. Let me show you another video, you guys, of the same interview, and another question was asked of him by this reporter. He's just crazy. Shit, just give me 1 minute. I'm sorry. I should have been more prepared, you guys. I'm sorry. Let's go. Okay. Going to share that. Give me 1 second. There's another video too of Amy Wallace, a co-author of with Virginia Giuffre. May her rest in peace. That she helped Virginia Giuffre wrote this book that it's out already. It's called Nobody's Girl, which I'm going to talk about very briefly with you guys. Just give me 1 second so I can pop this video for you. All right, here we go. Okay, so let's go here. Give me 1 second. Check this out. Let's go. Let's go. Let's sit. Let's sit. We ain't messing around. All right. Sorry, you guys. All right. Here we go.
She was very specific about that night. She described dancing with you and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating because I
the same video. Oh, there's more. Sorry.
Peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat.
That's bollocks.
No, or I didn't sweat at the time, and that was actually yes. I didn't sweat at the time because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at.
Disgrace.
And I simply it was almost impossible for me to sweat.
She provided a photo of the two of you together.
Yes.
Your arm was around her waist.
Yes.
You've seen the photo.
I've seen the photograph.
How do you explain that?
I can't.
You think it is you next to her in the photo?
Oh, it's definitely me. I mean, that's a picture of me. It's not a picture of. I don't believe it's a picture of me in London, because when I go out in London, I wear a suit and a tie. That's what I would describe as those are my travelling clothes if I'm going overseas. So I've got plenty of photographs of me dressed in those sorts of sort of kit, but not there.
There was a witness there, Johanna Stolberg, who says that you did visit the house in that month.
I probably did. I don't think. On one of the weird things I was staying with.
You can tell, because body language says it all. You can tell once that reporter said there was a witness, he's trying to score out of it and to make up more lies. You know what I mean? Because everything that she's throwing at him, he's trying to figure out more lies to say. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. What he's saying, nothing's adding up. He's just trying to cover more lies after more lies until it got exposed later on.
Because of what I was doing, I was staying with the Consul General, which is further down the street on Fifth. So I wasn't staying there. I may have visited, but no. Definitely no.
You're shaking that. No. You know he is full of shit. Full of shit. Excuse my French, you guys. He's full of it. Anyway, I got the email that was linked. It said that we are in this together, urging him to keep in touch. because, and I'm paraphrasing here, he wants to once everything dies down, that he wants to continue to play. What's that mean? When two old men, when Epstein was alive, they want to play. No, because they want to continue to molest and have sex with underage girls. Okay, that's disgusting. Okay, that is disgusting. And this book is very powerful. I just purchased the book, you guys, and it's hopefully it's on its way by Tuesday, because I'm doing a live a live video, and talking about this book of Virginia Giuffre, Nobody's Girl. And I'm going to do a book club. This is my first time ever doing a book club live, and I just want to discuss about the book, because it reveals a lot of details of what happened to her, and a lot of names that was not mentioned in the book, except for two names that was mentioned in the book that we all know, and Virginia have talked about in her depositions and interviews with Prince Andrew, with Jeffrey Epstein, of course. But there's other names that there's other people that she mentioned in her book, like billionaires, but she has not mentioned a name, and you're wondering why. She's dead. May her rest in peace. She killed herself. I differ in that. I don't think she killed herself. I think someone got to her that silenced her up. That's just my opinion. But what I'm saying is, I believe that the reason why she didn't mention the names in her book, because according to her co-author Amy Wallace, the government already know the names. They have the names. They know who they are. Okay, the FBI, the DOJ, they've been sitting on this for the last 20 years. They know who the pedophiles are. They know who the elite men are. They know who they are. So Amy Wallace saying there's no point of releasing the names when the names is on the depositions, it's on the files. The FBI, the DOJ, like I said, they know. They have the names already. So at this point, it made no sense when Virginia was alive, when she was writing this book with Amy for the last 4 years before Virginia departed this world, that it made no sense. You know what I mean? She only mentioned two names. But a lot of people, a lot of sleuths on TikTok and Instagram are figuring out who they are. And that's why I cannot wait to get my hands on this book so we can start this book club. So please join in on Tuesday, November 4th. That is going to be my first book club, and we're going to discuss everything about this book. And this book is very powerful. And, Virginia is no longer here, and her truth is coming out. Her truth is coming out from the grave. And I know a lot of people are scared. The pedophile men, the elite men, they're scared. They're freaking out, which they should. And like I keep saying, when things are hitting in the dark, God is going to bring it to the light. You can't stop this. This is going to happen. Whether these pedophile men are going to be charged, or they're going to, if there's going to be an accountability of what they did to these survivors, but at least their names are going to be out there. Okay? And that's the most important thing. Do I want all of them to be arrested and prosecuted? Absolutely. Will that happen? Probably not. I'm just being for real, you guys. Probably not. I don't think it's going to happen, but at least have the names. And the sad thing is, the FBI and the DOJ, they know who they are. And still, until this day, after 20 years later, they still have not arrested them. They still have not done anything to these people that were involved in this. It's just crazy. So, like I said, Amy Wallace, she's the co-author. The publishers, they know the names of these men. They have tapes, so they can't really say anything, because Amy Wallace said in one of this interview that is not my story to tell, it's Virginia's story. So, but she has the tapes, you guys. She has all the recording tapes and everything. Okay. It's not in her house, because she mentioned it's not in my house. Don't even try to break into my house because it's not there. That's it. She's smart. She has a kill switch too. She didn't say it, but I know she has a kill switch. So anything happens to her, those tapes will be exposed. Okay? So she's smart. She's very smart, because they know that she knows that if anything happens to her, things are going to be exposed, things are going to be leaked. So that's what the publishers and the co-authors are not saying too much because, again, it's Virginia's story. They were just helping her. And think about this, you guys. You don't think they fact check everything, what Virginia's saying? You don't think they did their investigation? It took 4 years to write this book, okay? 4 years. They fact checked everything, okay? And according to Amy Wallace, everything that they fact checked, what Virginia was saying, was confirmed and verified. So you're trying to tell me that she's lying, or she was just a slut and a whore, and she was just trying to make money, or she's trying to get money with Epstein and Ghislaine? Like, get serious here. Ghislaine trafficked her at a young age when she was working at Mar-a-Lago and Trump's golf course. Okay, she not seduced her, but she trafficked her for her boyfriend Epstein. Okay, and then Epstein trafficked her with other men, and there's great details what happened to her. Okay, and she's lying. Everything that she said, Virginia, was the truth. I believe her. I always believed her. I never thought in a second that she was lying, because everything that she was saying was confirmed and verified and fact checked. But a lot of people are saying that she's lying. She was just a troubled girl. You know, she was just doing this because, you know, she just wanted attention or money or fame. I don't think so, you guys. But again, that's just my opinion. Everyone have a right to their opinion on what they believe. But I believe that this woman was telling the truth. And other people believed her too because they fact-checked everything. Now, according to Virginia in her book, and like I said, I don't have the book yet, but I heard it from other people that have read the book, that the whole reason that Epstein did this, to blackmail, leverage, to blackmail all the men, the elite men. Now think about this. Now everyone's saying that Epstein is a spy to the Israel government or the Mossad or whatever. Just think about this really clear. They use Epstein, right? Gave him money or whatever, or Epstein blackmailed other billionaires for him to have his wealth, because we still don't know how he got that money. He pretended to be a math grade teacher in New York. He was never a teacher. A stock exchange person. He was not really good with money or whatnot. He didn't even finish college. So he had to get the money somewhere. And I don't understand why they're not following the money. You know, the money says it all. Follow the money. The money is the paper trail. But anyway, I believe that they use Epstein, okay? So Epstein can blackmail all these elite men, because maybe certain people from other governments wanted to blackmail these other elite men, okay? So they couldn't do it themselves. So what they did, they used the next best thing, and they used Epstein. So what did Epstein do? He recruited, well, actually, his girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, recruited a lot of girls, young girls. Think about it. Young girls that were broken, come from a broken home, homeless, people that wouldn't care or give a damn about him. Because think about it. You think he would do this with rich kids? No, because they know if he ever did it with rich kids, their parents probably would do something. They probably would have sued that mother effer, okay? This whole sex trafficking operation would have stopped right on his tracks. But he's smart. He went, or she, they both went, to the vulnerable young girls that they know that they wouldn't believe them if they would have reported them saying, oh, I was sex trafficking, I was raped. They wouldn't believe them because they came from a troubled background. They're smart. That's their MO. That's every pedophile's MO. Because they're not going to do it with people who have come from a good family or have that good head on their shoulder. Not saying, you know what I mean? That's what they do. That they prey on the weak, because they wouldn't do it with someone that comes from a good, stable family. They do it with broken home family, runaways. Okay? So this was Jeffrey Epstein's MO. Okay? To lure these young girls, so these young girls can, so he can traffic these young girls, have them taped, because according to Virginia, and I wrote this down, Epstein had every room wired for videos, sounds, and bedrooms, bathrooms, massage room, and there was a huge library with all the videotapes. all the videotapes. What do you think that happened to the videotapes when his apartment in New York got raided? The government have them. The government have all the tapes. So think about it. They have all the tapes because Jeffrey Epstein collected them all, and he had them in his library like a trophy. Okay, every people that he blackmailed as leverage. I could just think about, visualize it. Excuse me, right now. His library room, okay, and have all the tapes with different names and dates and everything. That's how strategic he is. Okay, just think about that. Think about that. And the FBI have them all. Now I know they can't release the videos because the girls were underage, and it's definitely inappropriate to do that. But they know the person that had sex with these minors. The DOJ, the FBI, they know. They know who they are, and they are doing nothing. Isn't that crazy? They're absolutely doing nothing. Why are they protecting the pedophiles? Excuse me. Why are they protecting the pedophiles? Does that make sense? Don't release the tapes. Obviously not, because you want to protect the survivors, because again, they were a minor at the time. But why not expose the pedophiles that had sex with young underage girls? I don't understand that. Because what if it was your daughter? What if it was your daughters? Wouldn't you want justice for your daughter? And that's the thing. The FBI, the DOJ, they don't give a damn about the survivors. They say they do, but they don't. They say one thing, they do another. It doesn't co-align what they're saying. They don't give a damn about the survivors. All they're doing is protecting themselves and protecting the pedophiles. And each and every years, decades, whatever, they're letting these people get away with it. Get away with it. It's like a FU to the survivors. What happened to you didn't matter. It shouldn't matter. Because we're not going to do anything about it. We already got Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving 25 years to life. Epstein is dead. He killed himself, which to me, that's allegedly. I don't think he killed himself. And a lot of people are speculating that he really didn't die. He's somewhere, in an island somewhere, and I'm not going to go in that rabbit hole, but that is a possibility. There's two options, okay? You are dead, or they pretend that you're dead, okay? They change your identity and move you somewhere to another foreign country that you're no longer here. Those are the two options. But I don't believe he killed himself, that's for sure, okay? I believe someone took him out because he knew too much, and he probably was going to rat a lot of people out, or they faked his death. I am not going in that rabbit hole unless I have some type of proof or evidence that he's alive. I'm not going there. I'm just going to go to option A. Someone killed him in that prison cell. Now, back to this. That's what I believe why Jeffrey Epstein did all the things he did. That's why he had all these recordings, the sounds, the bathroom, the bedrooms, and have all these videos. Leverage to blackmail all these politicians, these business tag prime minister, you name it, people were involved in this, okay? And the proof is in the pudding because they have the evidence. They've been sitting on this for the last decade, and absolutely nothing has been done. Nothing has been done, you guys. It's just despicable. Now, before I let you go, I want to share a video of Amy Wallace talking to Natasha. I forgot her name, so forgive me, her last name, so sorry. Natasha, I like her podcast. It's very informative and very good. And take a listen to what Amy Wallace had to say about the whole book and everything. So let's see. Oops, this is not it. Where is it? I think I didn't put it in there. I am so sorry, you guys. You think I would be more prepared? I thought I did. I guess not. Let's go back. Sorry, guys. I thought I put it in there. Okay. It's not. It's crazy. Sorry. Maybe I did. I just didn't put it in here, but I'm going to show it to you really quickly before I let you go because I don't want to take any more of your time because I know time is precious. And yeah, so let's see. Okay, you guys. Really quickly. I'm getting the hang of this actually, moving fast because, you don't want to waste any time here, because time is in the essence. That's it. Let's go. There we go.
A lot of people think he's not releasing the files because he's in them. And she's saying, at least when it comes to her, he's not. He wasn't involved at all. I think that's a big surprise to a lot of people. Is that the reaction you're getting, that Trump is cleared as far as Virginia's concerned?
I've definitely gotten that reaction. I mean, when we announced the book, we made it clear that Trump was not implicated. Again, as you point out, Virginia was in the Epstein-Maxwell orbit for about 24 months, a little longer. And so she only knows about that period. But in that period, she didn't see Trump in any sort of compromising position. She didn't see him abuse anyone. And in fact, remember, she is procured by Ghislaine Maxwell. She is approached by this posh British woman with a beautiful outfit, beautiful handbag at Mar-a-Lago Spa, where she is working as a $9 an hour towel girl in the Mar-a-Lago Club, which obviously Trump still owns. So she knew Donald Trump because she worked there. She thought she was honored to work there. It was a beautiful place. And she met him several times because her father also worked there and introduced him to her. He said, "Do you babysit?" She said yes. He gave her, he had her babysit for some of her friends when they visited the club. So she had fond memories of him from her teenagehood. And then I was there in Australia with her in October, right before the presidential election. And here was this former president running for president again, partly on the plank that he was going to release the Epstein files. And she felt very validated by that. Remember, these women have been called liars, sluts, whores for a long time, for many years since they've come forward. And they shouldn't be believed. They shouldn't be believed. And here was a man, a former president, somebody who she hoped would be president again, saying, "I'm validating you. This is wrong. These files should be public.
Well, it's not now.
We should make them public." So she was absolutely, galvanized by that. She felt very, very happy about it and hoped that he would win. And he did.
All right. Yes, he did. But if the grave was turning, Virginia was like, what the hell happened? You know what I mean? Unfortunately, she's no longer here. And until this day, President Trump has not released the files. The DOJ have not released the files. I don't even think that Kash Patel or Dan Bonjoni even read the reports, read the survivors report or anything. I don't think they even looked at it. You know what I mean? It's just something that they want to go away. But I'm just going to tell you guys this. It's not going away. It's not. Because even though Virginia is no longer here, she's telling her truth even in death. You understand? Even in death, she's telling the truth. I mean, she's telling her truth. Okay? They can't hide from this. They can't run from this because the truth will come out eventually. And like I said, maybe these perverts and these pedophiles are not going to be processed or be convicted, but at least the names are going to come out. That's a guarantee because there's tapes surfacing. Okay? And to me, I'm just putting this out there. I don't know why they can't release the tapes. You know what I mean? Why do we have to wait until these pedophiles are dead to make it relevant? That makes no sense. You know what I mean? Release the names. Release the names. And I know that Amy Wallace was saying during this interview with Natasha Banfield that it's not her job to do that, which I get. It's the FBI. It's the DOJ. 100% agree with her. However, they're not doing their job. So how can any of these survivors get accountability for what happened to them when no one's not doing anything? There's evidence lying around everywhere and no one's not releasing it. And I believe that book, Nobody's Girl, is damaging. Okay? It's damaging. It's going to mess a lot of people up. People are getting scared. The people that are involved, they're getting scared, they're getting nervous, they're freaking out, okay? Which they should be, okay? Like I said, the truth is coming out. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. It's going to come out eventually, and it should come out now. Everything should come out. Everything, okay? Everything should come out. Because you know what? Everyone's a suspect, even me. Okay? Everyone's a suspect. That's why you should not trust no one. And when you have some type of incredible evidence, give it to everyone. Have a kill switch, just in case something happens. Because right now, we're living in a warfare, okay? Because people can't tell from truth to fiction. Truth or lie. They want to cover up the lie, but we can't tell the truth. That ends right now because the truth is coming out. It is. It's just like I said, it's just a matter of time. Let me know what you think, because that's all I have to say about that. And please join in on Tuesday, November 4th. Hopefully, I get the book. I am so sorry. That tells me it's time to go because he is barking. There's someone's in the front of my door. So it's time for me to go. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to do my book club, and we're going to talk about the book of Nobody's Girl by Virginia Giuffre. Rest in peace. And I hope everyone comes in and join, and we can talk about it and have a discussion. Again, this is my first book club. Super excited. But yeah, thank you so much for joining in. That's it. I really appreciate each and one of you. Love you all. And I will see you guys on Tuesday live, 6 p.m.